Okay.
Hey rock stars! Happy Talking Out Thursday! And it's the month of August, and so I am starting the week of rock stars, month of rock star videos. And the rock star of the week is my coworker Tim Bazzelli.
That's right, Bazzelli.
Yes. Very Irish, right?
Exactly.
So he is my coworker. He works with adults, and so let's get to know him. Yay! So how did you get in this career? What's your story?
Well, let's see. There's a two-folded answer. The first part of the answer is should I look at you and talk to you?
No, you can.
Okay. The first part of the answer would be my pastor and the church used to always complain about having to do too much counseling in the church. And he had the gift of counseling, but he wasn't a professional counselor. And he used to complain, saying, I wish I didn't have to counsel all these people so I could do more pastoring. Mm-hmm. So that was the first, reason I saw there was a need for in the church for counseling to be a help in the churches, to help pastors who were overloaded with spiritual care, who maybe didn't have the gift or the qualification to do psychological and emotional care.
Yeah.
So that's the first part of it. The second part of it is that crazy situation happened when I was in high school, where in Fort Zumwalt South in 1995, a guy held my class hostage. And I was in that room for 3 hours, and I saw a guy was 17 years old. His name was Michael, and he had a trench coat on before the trench coat thing was famous. And he held the class hostage. I was in that room. I was 15 years old at the time. And I saw this guy throw his life down the drain. Mm-hmm. No one was hurt. But
thankfully,
it just gave me more of a burden to help people that had disturbances. And that's one of the situations that really propelled me into looking into counseling. Was I was a freshman in high school.
I never knew that.
Hostage. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it was a miracle.
Gosh.
God helped me. He was there, but yeah, it was a situation that I went through and lived to tell about it.
Dude, so how long have you been a counselor?
I've been in the field since 2003. I started doing in-home work with Kreider Center for Mental Health in 2004 in their children's division. Okay. Mm-hmm. Started out at Headway, Kreider, then the children's division, and then I've been a licensed professional counselor since 2007.
Yes. So I work in the same office as Tim, and I absolutely love hearing how you work. And so I wanted you as the Rockstar of the Week because I feel like I learn so many things just kind of listening to you and observing you.
Oh, well, thank you.
And I feel like you're really good at what you do.
Well, thank you.
So, since you have been in the field a long time, suicide is the third leading cause of death in the youth. But I think the statistic is 8th overall with all age groups. So,
wow.
What would your advice be for someone who is suicidal, an adult? But then what's your advice for someone like advocates? That's what the ROCKSTAR program is all about. Like, we're advocates to help other people. What would your advice for us be?
Sure. So if I was to talk to someone that was actually feeling suicidal, I would want to encourage them that hopelessness is a state of feeling. And though it's very real, and it's like having a dark cloud above you where you can't see the light, that there is light, there is hope. I would encourage them to reach out, to talk to a professional. I would tell them it's okay to feel hopeless. Yeah. It's okay to feel helpless. It's bigger than all of us. It's a huge problem, but it's okay. It's a common feeling, and a lot of people have felt that state before in their life. And I would also tell them that's an indicator of severe depression. Yeah. And I would encourage them to get the help that they need. That, hey, there is light, there is help. If it's through medication or counseling, but I would encourage them the best that I could to get them to reach out.
Yes. And so Tim is also a father, and you have a teenage daughter, almost a teenage daughter.
Yeah, preteen. Yes.
So have you talked to your daughter about suicide and suicidal thoughts? And if you have, what have you said? If you haven't, what would you tell your daughter about, if you were suicidal, here's what you can do. But, if you see someone who is suicidal in your school, this is what you can do.
Yeah. having a dad for a therapist, I feel like my daughter would reach out if she felt suicidal. But if she saw someone who was suicidal, I would encourage her to make sure that she's going to a guidance counselor immediately, or a school teacher or staff, to tell the staff member. Sometimes friends don't want to defy their friendship confidentiality, but when someone states that they feel suicidal, I think that I would recommend for my daughter to go to a guidance counselor immediately, tell the guidance counselor, and have a staff screen that child or that teenager that's talking this way. I think every cry for help is taken serious. I never want to be the judge to say, oh, so-and-so's getting attention. I think anyone that feels suicidal and states it needs to be screened, and it should be taken seriously.
Yes, I agree. And it's it's intense. And I think, you know, just having the reminder of, you don't have to do it alone. You know, you can go get help. Like, go to a counselor, go to a staff, go to an adult, go to someone you trust, get the help, so then you can, you know, help that person in need.
Absolutely. Now, I would, if I were to help other helpers, like ministers, teachers, counselors, though, on what to look for if someone's suicidal.
Yes, what to look for.
I would state that it's not what we often think that it is.
It's true.
Sometimes when people have been sad and depressed for a period of time, and they appear to be all of a sudden they were depressed, and they appear to be very happy, and they appear to be celebratory, like they found the answer. That is an indicator, a warning sign of suicide. Another warning sign I would look for is if people are giving away their belongings, writing notes to people in their own way, saying goodbye, just by what they're doing, giving things away, acting very happy when you know they've been depressed for a while. Those are signs of suicide as well.
That's a really good point. You know, they've been depressed and then all of a sudden they're happy.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we forget that, because then we're like, oh, they're fixed, you know, they're better. So, I mean, that could definitely be the case. They've just, you know, put in the work and they're feeling better. But I think that is a really good warning sign to look out for.
If they weren't in therapy, or all of a sudden they're just are happier and they're celebratory, and you can't see any reason why they would still be happy. For some people, the depression's so strong that they feel like in their own mind that they have found an answer. And that's a major warning sign.
That's good to remember. Even me, I'm like, yeah, you're right. So, Tim, you're a total goofball.
Yes.
And then if Tim ever gets a kickstart or a Mountain Dew, watch out.
This morning, 8:30 this morning, on the way to work. It was wonderful.
And then he does this wig out thing. Wig out for him.
Sure. Never wig out in public.
Okay, so I know you use your humor as kind of like a coping skill.
Yes.
I'm kind of assuming that. But what else do you do? I mean, because it's hard. You're also a pastor.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're a therapist, and you're a father. And so a lot of stress. How do you kind of unwind and de-stress?
One thing I do is the outdoors. I love to go out and put cameras up out in the woods.
You're a hunter.
I love to deer hunt. If anyone's a hunter activist, I'm sorry, but I do love the outdoors. It's very therapeutic to get in the tree and watch the sun come up. As much as I love to hunt, I love being out in the woods. And for me to get away, I'll just get away and go in the woods and put up cameras, check SD cards to see what pictures I've taken. And of course, I enjoy hunting, and that helps me cope a lot.
Great. Yes, that's awesome. And you love LeBron James.
I love LeBron James.
He's a sports nut. Him and our other coworker Ken just chat about sports all the time.
And sports is another coping skill. And I think we should all have self-care techniques. But yes, sports, hunting is my escape.
All right. Well, thank you so much for doing this Rockstar of the Week. I appreciate it. And Rockstars, if you have any questions for Tim, put them in the comments. I will get them to him. Or if you post it on his Facebook page, you can go on his Facebook page. So thank you so much. Rockstar of the Week. Always think about your self-care. Mwah. Love you, Rockstars. Rock on.